Today is August 8th, 2012. We are interviewing Richard F. Tudor. He was born November 7th, 1925, and served in the Navy as a radar man 3rd class during the World War II conflict. My name is Tona Francis, and I am a friend of Dick. We are in Tip City, Ohio for this recording. The interview is being conducted for the Miami County Veterans History Project in the American Folklife Center at the Library of Congress with Republican John Boehner's office. The project is sponsored by Mission Veterans DC of Piqua, Ohio. Good afternoon. I would like to thank you for sharing your experiences through this interview. Tell us about your life before the service. Where were you born?
I was born in Dayton, Ohio.
In home or in the hospital?
At home.
At home?
Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
One sister is all.
Okay. And her name?
Ethel Jean.
Okay. And what did your father do to provide for your family?
He worked in a grocery store.
Okay. And what was his name?
Forrest.
And your mom's name?
Rachel.
And was she a homemaker?
She was a homemaker most of the time.
Okay. Where did you go to school then?
I went to Patterson Grade School on Wyoming Street, and then I went to Lincoln Junior High off of Wyoming Street, and then I went to WWII High School out on Huffman Avenue.
Okay. Did you ride the bus or did you walk?
We had to walk.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, you had to ride downtown and then all the way back out again.
Okay. What did you do before entering the service?
I worked in a grocery store too.
Okay, the same one as your dad?
No.
Okay. What was the name of it?
I worked for the AMPT company.
Okay. And did you any of your other family members serve in the military?
I had an uncle that was in the Army.
Okay.
And that was my dad's brother.
Okay, and his name?
And Ivan.
Okay.
And he was in the cavalry, and then he ended up going to school and became an officer, and then he stayed in for, well, his whole lifetime there, and then he retired as a lieutenant colonel.
Wow.
So, and then he moved to Texas.
Uh-huh.
And he lived in El Paso, Texas for many years, and then he moved to another place in Texas where he died.
Okay. Huh. How did you enter the service?
Pardon me?
How did you enter the service? Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I quit school. My mother said she'd sign for me, and I quit school. And then when I went down to enlist, she changed her mind and wouldn't sign. So I had to wait till a few more months. And then in November I was 18, and I thought, well, I'll wait till after Christmas. And Christmas come, and right before Christmas I got a notice from the draft board. So that's when I went down and signed, but I didn't have to leave till after Christmas then.
Okay, was that in Dayton when you signed?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you get to choose where you wanted to go?
Yeah, I joined the Navy.
Okay. Did you like to ride on boats, or what made you decide that?
I always did like the sea.
Okay.
And I always thought when I was little, well, it'd be nice to be in the Navy. And
okay.
I just prefer the Navy over anything else.
I see. So where'd you take your basic training then?
I was at Great Lakes, Illinois, and I was there, and then I got scarlet fever while I was in boot camp, and I had to go to hospital. I was in the hospital 83 days, and as soon as I got out of the hospital, they sent me home on boot leave, and I think we was home for 12 days. Then we went back to Great Lakes, and then they shipped us to Shoemaker, California.
Okay. I showed that your service dates were January 1944 through June of 1946. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So after boot camp then you went, what did you do at boot camp, I should say first? What was the basic training like there?
Well, what little bit I had was we learned to march, that was basically what, and then we took a lot of exercises, and about that time was when I went to the hospital.
Okay.
So when I got out of the hospital, I didn't have any training.
Okay. So did you go out on ships at all while you were in basic training, or?
No.
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 It was just marching and
Marching.
your rifle or
and
gun?
We learned identification of airplanes.
Oh.
Mostly.
Okay.
And different ships, we identified different combat ships and things.
Okay. Okay, so then where did you go? You say after basic training you went to
Shoemaker, California.
California, okay.
And I was there for about a week, and then they sent us, we left there and went to Treasure Island, where we shipped out and went to Hawaii, down Aiea, Hawaii, where it was. It's close to Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And I was there for about a month.
Uh-huh.
And we went to a little different kind of schooling there.
Uh-huh.
And nice weather down there.
I'm sure. What'd you learn there, though?
Pardon me?
What did you learn there at the schooling in Hawaii?
Mostly the same things we got in boot camp.
Okay.
Identification of aircraft and ships. And
Just trying to remember the things you'd already went over.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. Did anybody get seasick on the way over?
Nobody that I know of.
Okay. You didn't have any trouble yourself?
I've never been seasick.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. How was the food?
The food is not too bad for as many people as they's cooking for.
Uh-huh.
But when I went aboard ship, we had a small crew and we ate good there.
Okay, so basic training wasn't so good, but once you got on the ship it was.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better.
Nice. Did you have any time for a social life?
In
Basic or?
No.
Okay.
We didn't get no liberty in boot camp.
Okay.
And then when we went to Hawaii, I went into town a few times.
Okay.
But that was all.
Uh-huh. Was everybody that went to basic training with you in Hawaii with you, or did people split up?
That was all split up.
Okay. So you didn't stay with you didn't stay with the same group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where did you go from Hawaii then?
I went from Hawaii to the Marshall Islands, where I caught my ship, the USS Kaskaskia. We went aboard there at Anawita, and we got in there it was about midnight, and we had to climb aboard, and it was about 30 or 35 feet out of the water, and we didn't know it, but they was taking on fuel at the time, and the next morning they put us bed us down on the well deck there to start with. And the next morning I looked out and we was about 4 foot out of the water, and I thought, oh, this darn thing's sinking.
Oh no!
But here they filled it overnight
with the fuel?
with
How big of a ship was that?
it's about 300 foot long,
Okay.
and we carried a 5-inch gun and 2 3-inch guns, 2 sets of 40 quad guns, and about 10 or 15 20-millimeter guns.
Wow.
That was it for us.
Uh-huh. How many men do you think were on board?
We had 250, counting the officers.
Wow.
And there's probably 35 or 40 officers, and the rest of them was seamen.
Uh-huh. And so when did you take on your position as that radar man?
Well, I was on the ship about 2 days, and they put me to chip and paint.
Oh.
And the Navy's always painting.
Uh-huh.
And I was in the chow line one time, and I was talking to this one guy, and he asked me, he says, "You new here?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "What do you do?" I said, "I chip paint." He says, I said, "Well, I don't like it, but I'm chipping paint." Oh, he must have put in a word for me, because the next day the communication officer called me into his cabin and asked me if I'd like to strike for radar. I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, you go report to John Albonico." So I left his cabin, and I thought, I don't know what the hell radar is, but it's got to be better than chip and paint.
There you go.
So then John Albonico, he taught me how to do the radar.
Okay. So you learned on ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I did that for 2 years then.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And you like that better than chip and paint then?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
I don't do no painting at home even.
Oh goodness. Okay, what happened next then? Once you got on ship and you got your new job.
We joined the 5th Fleet and then sometimes the 3rd Fleet, and we fueled 169 ships altogether during the war, and sometimes we fueled the same ones 3 or 4 times. And we delivered 19 million gallons of oil in the 4 years there. And and then we was in a lot of the invasions they had. In fact, I was in 4 invasions.
Where at? Do you recall?
I was in the Admiralty Islands, and they invaded that, and Iwo Jima, and they invaded that, and the Philippine Islands, and the last one was Okinawa, Japan, when they invaded that. And that Okinawa was the worst one for me.
Why?
For us, you know.
Why was that?
We saw an awful lot of action. We went to battle stations one day, and we was at battle stations for 4 days.
Oh my.
And, sometimes you slept a little on duty there, but we never did get to, and we couldn't get back to the mess hall to eat. They sent sandwiches around once in a while.
Uh-huh.
But it was 4 long days there.
Oh my. So you were right in the action.
Yeah, we was right there. And we had a lot of suicide planes and suicide boats and suicide swimmers.
Uh-huh.
And the USS, I forget what the name of that battleship was. It got a plane into the bridge, and they had about 1,500 casualties. And, they called for doctors all night long. Different ships would send doctors over to help them.
Uh-huh. Were you close to that ship, or you?
I was about, like a city block or something.
Oh
like that.
My.
Close enough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how far out were you? Were you very far?
We was anchored in the harbor there.
Okay.
That's where they was having all the trouble.
I see.
But they sent a lot of nuisance raids out. They'd send 2 or 3 planes out. They'd shoot them down, and then about a half hour later they'd send a couple more out. They just did that constantly to keep you awake and up. And
To wear you out?
Yeah.
So how many ships do you think were anchored out there?
Oh, I suppose there must have been 75 or 100 anyhow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of combat ships, and then we was the only tanker there.
Uh-huh.
So the one that had oil.
Uh-huh.
And then while we was there, they assigned a small boat to us to when we get attacked, or it'd go around and around us, letting off smoke to cover us up.
To make it look like maybe you got hit?
Yeah, well, just so they couldn't see us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you giving oil to all these ships while you were there, or you just happened to be there so you were helping out?
We was assigned there,
Okay.
and when they needed oil, we give it to them.
I see.
But most of the time, we were just assigned there, waiting until somebody needed it.
I see. Did you get any hits on your ship?
We didn't. No.
Okay.
We've had bombs dropped at us and shot at us and torpedoes fired at us, and been very lucky nothing hit us.
Yeah. Goodness. So how long do you think you were there?
Or at Okinawa,
Uh-huh.
4 or 5 days there.
Okay. Then you pulled out and went
Yeah.
someplace else.
And they sent us on back out,
Uh-huh.
and we got some more fuel from some other tankers that brought oil out to us.
I see.
And then we went back. Well, we didn't go into Okinawa, but we was there in the area.
Uh-huh. In port somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So when you were over in Europe or over in Japan,
Yeah.
you were all just there in that area?
I spent all my time in the Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't go anyplace else then?
No.
Okay.
We was at most all the islands out there at one time or another.
Okay.
Guys, there's thousands of them out there.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
At Iwo Jima, it was a small island. It had nothing but a big hunk of rock and ash out there.
Uh-huh.
And we was there when they invaded that, and it took about 30 days before they took that over.
The United States.
Yeah, the
Okay.
United States got that. took about 30 days until they cleaned that up. Of course, we didn't get into the fighting on the shore there. All we had was aircraft and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we had dodged submarines once in a while.
Okay. When you were radar man, what was your duty? What did you do?
Operate this radar. We had two different type sets. One was aircraft, and one was surface craft. We picked up ships with surface craft, and the aircraft we would chart them, and we had a way we charted them real quick, and we could tell how fast they was going, what direction they was coming, and how soon they would be there.
Huh.
And sometimes we'd chart them, and it only take maybe 20 minutes, and could get to us. So they'd sound general quarters, which is battle stations.
Uh-huh.
When they come, they'd be waiting on them.
Uh-huh. Now, did you do that all the time?
Radar.
Yeah, I mean, did you do air sometimes
I
and
did
sea?
both of them.
All
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the surface one, a lot of times when we was in convoy, we used that to keep station on another ship,
Okay.
and especially at night.
Mm-hmm.
Keep station they had one ship designated as the flagship, and then we kept like 800 or 900 yards off of that, sometimes 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where
That's why you traveled?
Yeah, that's where you keep from running into each other.
Well, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
So what else happened possibly while you were over there?
Oh.
Did you see any fellow soldiers on your ship get hurt?
No, we didn't.
Nobody on your ship ever got hit at all with shot?
Not on our ship, they didn't.
Okay, I mean, I knew you said, like, bombs didn't hit you and
No,
torpedoes, but I didn't know if shot
We
fired?
had one tanker that we went into WWII Islands, and it pumped this oil into us, and we anchored there where it was, and then it left to go back and get more oil, and it was probably 2,000 yards off of us, and it got torpedoed by a two-man sub and sunk that, and they had a lot of casualties on that one, but it could have been us just as easy.
Mm-hmm. And they were empty, you say?
Yeah, they was empty.
Okay. I thought maybe that made it worse, but if they were empty...
When it's empty, it's worse than being full.
Really?
You know, you got all the fumes in there, and that's what goes sky high.
Okay.
And,
Huh.
But at Hawaii, though, they did teach us to swim in burning oil.
Okay.
And we took that course was only like a week or something like that, but it sure helped, though, if you would ever have to swim in burning oil.
And how does that work?
Well, you swim underwater most of the time. Then when you come up, you push the water away from your face, and then you take a good breath, and you go back down again and keep going.
Okay.
And to qualify, we had to swim from one end of a pool to the other at Hawaii there. They put oil in there and set it on fire. First time you're up there, you look down, it looks like the world's on fire. And if you don't jump in, they'll shove you.
Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my. You don't get burnt going through that?
No.
I'll be darned. So how long do you think the pool was that you learned in?
It was a regular swimming pool.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
But my longest trip out is I went 6 months and 6 days without setting foot on land.
Oh, my.
And then first time I went ashore, you can't hardly walk because you're used to
Rocking.
and bobbing and
Yeah.
So
So you probably looked like you were drunk.
Yeah. You didn't know better, you'd think you was.
Yeah.
And after a while, that settles down.
Uh-huh. But that's the trouble you had. You didn't have any seasickness. It was just coming back to land where it wasn't moving.
Now, my skipper, he'd been sailing the seas for 20 years, and every time he went to sea, he'd get sick first day out. And then he was all right until he hit land again. And then the first day out, he'd get sick again.
I'll
just,
be
just
darned.
1 day is all. But,
Huh.
and he'd been on the sea for all his life.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
So what happened when you were done over there?
What do you mean?
With your Like, was the war over when you were over there?
When the war was over.
Uh-huh. Where were you at then?
We was in, when the war ended, they sent us into Tokyo Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And we was there probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And we fueled ships, the American ships that come in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got orders to leave there, and we went to Shanghai, China.
Mm-hmm.
And we was there for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Any of this time were you able to get off ship and look around, or
Yeah.
did you?
When we got off in Japan, 'cause that's right after the war ended, we could go ashore, but we wasn't allowed to go in any buildings.
Okay.
And of course, we all went in kind of a little group.
Uh-huh.
And then after we left Japan, though, we went to China. We took oil to Shanghai and dropped some off to some ships there, and then we went to Hong Kong, and we was like a station ship there, just like a filling station. The ships was coming and going, and we was anchored there for probably 2.5 months.
Huh.
And of course, when he was there, that was pretty good duty because didn't have too much to do. So you go ashore every other day. You had liberty.
Uh-huh.
If you wanted to go ashore.
Uh-huh. Why weren't you allowed to go in the buildings in Japan?
The war just ended.
So there may have been people in them, you mean, or?
Yeah, they was afraid that they would kill you.
Okay.
And you want to get mixed up with them like that.
Right. I didn't know if everything was blown up or if.
No.
No?
No, we went to the Imperial Palace. We went to see that.
Uh-huh.
Of course, you couldn't go back there, but you could see it from a distance, and they didn't bomb it, and I don't know why, but it wasn't touched.
Huh.
And it's kind of strange.
Yeah. Anything else you might have seen while you were there?
In Japan,
Uh-huh.
just a lot of blown up buildings, and
No other landmarks?
no, we went to we saw Yokohama and Yokosuka
Okay.
and Mount Fujiyama.
Okay.
We did get to see that.
From a distance, or did you go to the...
We took a ride down to that. And
Okay.
we didn't go up onto the mountain, but we could see it there.
Uh-huh.
And then at that Tokyo Bay, and that's a big bay there.
Very busy?
Oh yeah, we went on one day they sent our boat over, one of our boats, small boats, over to pick up supplies, and they didn't get back till late that night. After dark, they didn't know where they was at. They had a compass, and every ship they come to, they'd ask them what berth they was and where our berth was, and I began to think they wasn't going to get back that night.
Oh my.
But they did.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what'd you do in Shanghai then?
We got to go ashore a couple of times,
Uh-huh.
and we dropped off that oil to that other ship that was there,
Uh-huh.
and that was all we did in Shanghai.
Okay.
But Shanghai is a big city. It's probably, I wouldn't be surprised to be the largest city in the world.
Okay.
The largest population.
Uh-huh.
But most of them cities in China is just wall-to-wall people.
Really?
Well, Hong Kong was just wall-to-wall people, and at that time they didn't have hardly any cars running up and down. It was all rickshaws.
Bicycles or no?
Well, some had bicycles, but
Okay.
most of it was rickshaws. And the rickshaw was like a taxi cab chain. You know, one guy owned a bunch of them,
Oh.
and these guys would run, and then they'd have to pay him. And they said that the average life of a rickshaw driver was about 26 years old.
Really?
Yeah, but they just run constantly.
Huh.
And
No place they wouldn't go, I'm sure. They pretty much take you anywhere.
no, I was there 2.5 months, and I had about the same rickshaw driver. He'd wait on me when he knew when I was coming ashore.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
We'll catch you later.
It's just me. I was checking if Grandma was calling out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
So you had a special guy that knew that you
Yeah,
liked to run
well,
around town.
I tipped him good too.
Oh.
See, the exchange there was like 4.5 Hong Kong dollars to $1 American dollar,
Oh my.
and you could get a rickshaw driver to pull you all day long for in our money for $1, and I'd give him $1 sometimes, $1.50. I'd come ashore, he'd be right there waiting on me.
I'll be
I'd
darned.
tell him when I was coming ashore again.
Uh-huh.
And,
So where'd you go from there then? After you were there for a couple months?
well, then I got orders to go back to the United States for discharge.
Okay.
And they put me on this troop ship, and the troop ships is terrible.
Really?
Oh, they're just packed with people, and no place to sleep hardly, and so many of them get sick.
Oh.
And the food, they feed you twice a day. Most of them they eat breakfast, and then they go right around and get in line again and wait for supper.
Oh my.
So what I did, I went up to the radar shack and I asked them if they needed any help standing radar watch. Oh yeah, we could use some help. So I stood watch with them, and I slept in their quarters, and I ate with them, and it wasn't bad for me. I had
Okay.
to do a few watches, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't have to put up with that other stuff.
Yeah. So did you go back to Hawaii, or did you go
No.
right back to California,
Went
or
back to
Seattle?
San Francisco.
Okay.
And I went from San Francisco, they sent us back to Great Lakes where I got discharged from there.
Okay, did you take a train or a bus?
They took us on a train.
Okay.
And now our train, when we took a train when we left boot camp going to California,
Uh-huh.
and I was on this train for 9 days.
Oh my.
It was just, we stopped at every little whistle stop. We sidetracked for every train that was coming through, and I thought, well, that's okay, because I knew where I was going.
Yeah. Takes longer to get there, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And they feed you on the train?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And were you allowed to get off at all?
No.
Okay.
But we had a sleeper.
Oh, okay.
These was them old time sleepers, and all they wanted to do on the train was play cards.
Uh-huh.
And I played cards for a while, and then I got so tired of cards I didn't want to play no more.
Understandable.
But then when we got back to Great Lakes for discharge, I got discharged, and the same day I got discharged, the trains went on strike.
Oh.
And so I thought, well, I can hitchhike. And so I started hitchhiking home. And of course, back then, if you had a uniform on, everybody picked you up.
Okay.
And but today, it's not safe to pick up anybody.
Well, you question it. It could be safe, but you don't know because
Yeah.
there's so many that you're not sure of.
Yeah.
So you thumbed home from Great Lakes?
Yeah.
They didn't have buses then, or?
Well, I didn't catch a bus. I went out and I started hitchhiking, and I got a ride to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh.
And I met up with a Marine there, and we had the supper, and then we talked a while, and then finally he was going on, and I caught a bus then from Fort Wayne into Dayton,
Okay.
and I got off the bus at Dayton, and I went down to 5th and Main Street to catch a trolley bus home.
Okay.
I waited and waited, and it didn't come. And finally, I asked this lady there, I said, does the Ewald Circle bus run here anymore? She says, no, says you catch that over there on the other corner.
Oh,
And I
no.
thanked her, and I went over and caught the bus over there then.
I see. Did
Then
your
I-
family know you were coming home?
They knew I was going to be discharged, but they
Okay.
didn't know exactly when I was going to get there.
Okay.
And my mother was there, because my dad, he was working.
Uh-huh.
But first thing she said to me, where you been?
Oh, no. Trying to get home, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, while you were in the service, did your family write to you? Did you get letters?
My mother wrote quite often.
And did you get those every week, every day? How'd that work?
We got, our address was post office out of San Francisco, and then they would put our ship in a bag and send it with the ship, and then wherever it was, it might go to another ship that was going out farther.
Oh.
And, but we got mail about every 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then when we got mail, why, you'd get maybe 60, 70 letters at a time.
Nice.
Yeah.
That kept you busy.
Yeah, if you got any boxes of cookies or something,
Mm-hmm.
when you open them, you want to get yours first.
Oh, yeah.
Because the next thing you know, it's gone.
Yeah, somebody's going to help you.
Oh, more hands in there, and you can.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So you witnessed casualties and destruction. Wow. Did you have any friendships that you formed while you were away?
I met this fella. He run a restaurant in Hong Kong. He was a Chinese, elderly Chinese man, and he liked to play ping pong. And I played ping pong, but every time I go ashore, sometimes I'd eat a little something there. And then he'd want to play ping pong. And once in a while he'd let me win.
He's pretty good.
But oh, it was all good, yeah.
The food was good, but he was good at ping pong
He was
too.
better at ping pong. The ping pong was better than the food.
Oh, okay. Okay. You didn't like Chinese food, I take it.
I like Chinese food, but a lot of it you're kind of scared of it, you know.
Yeah, I know it's fresh fish over there, isn't it?
They had one meat market in the main street of Hong Kong. They had a butcher block outside on the sidewalk, and they had this big chunk of meat on there, and it's about 105 degrees temperature.
Oh my.
And people come along, they buy something, they cut off a piece and wrap it up in newspaper, and they pay it, and away they go.
Oh my.
Kind of scary on some of the.
Anybody ever get sick that you know of?
Nobody that I know of.
Okay. Oh my. How about servicemen that you were on the ship with? Did you make any friendships that way?
Oh yeah, just mostly the people worked on the bridge.
Okay.
The radarmen and the quartermasters, the signalman,
Uh-huh.
and the radio man.
Okay.
That's the ones.
Did you have any recreation or off-duty pursuits at all?
On the ship?
Yeah, while you were on the ship?
No.
Other than the time you went to, but that was that when the war was over?
During the war, we didn't have nothing.
They didn't let you off the ship, or you didn't?
No.
Okay. Huh. Was there a reception by your family or community once you got home?
Not really.
Okay.
My mother and father was there.
Uh-huh.
My sister, I think she was there too. That was all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When you got back, had the war been over quite a while?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't right after.
No.
Okay. Have you contacted any of your fellow veterans once you got home?
They have a reunion every year, and I went to all of them up until about 10 years ago, and then I got so I couldn't go anymore.
Are they pretty far away, or?
Well, sometimes one of them has a reunion every year,
Uh-huh.
but we've had it in California and Washington and over on the East Coast and South, and it's been all over.
Okay.
And I went to 10 or 11 of them,
Uh-huh.
but I still hear from 2 or 3 of them.
Huh.
A lot of them
Passed away.
by now.
Yeah. Do you have any memberships in any veterans organizations like your VFW or?
Not anymore.
No? Okay.
I used to, but I don't anymore.
Okay. How has wartime experiences affected your life? Or do you think it did?
I don't think it affected much.
Didn't you?
Not really.
Okay. Did you have any life lessons learned from the military service?
Oh, well.
You learned to swim in fire.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah.
And I learned how to keep all my stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably learned to get along with people
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
to listen to orders,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other stories you might want to share with me?
Well, I don't know, man.
Okay. I have some pictures here that you had. One is when you were, is this before you went to the service?
No, that's when
Boot camp? Or?
no, after I got out of boot camp. That's after I got. We come back from overseas one time for repairs, and that's when that picture was taken.
Okay. And then you have a picture of your ship.
Yeah.
And what were you doing on this picture? Do you
That's
recall?
There's fuel in the battleship Iowa there.
Okay. And your ship's in the front there, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is a picture of your ship. Do you
Yeah.
remember where that was
It
taken?
was anchored in Hong Kong, China.
Okay. And what was the name of your ship again?
Kaskaskia.
Kaskaskia.
All those tankers was named after rivers.
Okay. And then you have a small plaque that talks about the ship that you were on.
Yeah.
Okay, it says here that you received 9 battle stars.
Our ship got nine battle stars, yeah.
Do you
I got 4.
Okay, what were they for? Do you recall?
Well, one of them's for the invasion of Iwo Jima, one for Admiralty Islands, one for Philippines, when they invaded Philippines, and one for the invaded Okinawa, Japan.
Okay. That's awesome. Do you still have your medals?
Yeah, they're from
Somewhere. Okay, okay. When you returned from the service, did you get married or did you have a girlfriend?
They got married later on, yes.
Okay. Where did you work when you got home?
I went back to AMP for a while.
Okay. And how'd you meet your wife then?
Well, I met her through my uncle.
Okay.
She knew my uncle and aunt, and they come down to the house one time. That's when I met her and took her to the movie. That's how we started going together.
I see. Was that in 1946 or after?
It was in 51 we got married.
Okay. And do you have any children?
We got 2,
And their names?
a boy and a girl, Scott Tudor and Jerry Smith now.
Okay. And your wife's name?
Patsy,
Okay. And where did you live once you got married?
we lived in Dayton there,
Okay.
and then we eventually moved up here
Okay. And where's up here?
in Tip City.
Okay. And do you have grandchildren?
Got 4 boys.
Okay. And their names?
Andrew, Eric, and Brian, and Corey.
Okay.
Corey and Brian, they live in Columbus, and Andy and Eric, they live here in Tip City.
Okay. So your son lives here
Yeah,
in Tip City. Okay.
Yeah, he
And your
lives-
daughter in Columbus.
she lives over, well, they live in Plain City, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for the interview
You're welcome.
and thank you for your service.
Thank you.